Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today is Inspire Me Sunday, um, and it's a bit more of I've learned a few things this week, and as you know, I'm working on my second wall textile hanging display. It's been very challenging, in parts, but I am, but I am glad I am challenging myself to using wires with embroidery to get that lovely 2D effect where it lifts the stitches from the surface. It's a form of stump work, which is raised embroidery. It's the first time I've tried it. And typically I've gone for the biggest project to try it on. instead of doing it the proper way and trying it on something smaller, of course I've gone big. But I think you probably pretty much know that does seem to be my style, is just go big. But I think, doing this second one, I think it has made me realize that, to be honest, I don't really have the space to do this much of a scale, which this one is. And, I just haven't really got the space. So until I get my space, for example, until I want to lay it out on a lovely old kitchen oak table. And yes, so I think until I have that, I think, I'm going to be concentrating on smaller things, i.e. my fabric book. So basically something which fits the size of the desk I have now. Because, because otherwise I just keep on struggling. And yeah, it's that doesn't help my anxiety. And, it feels like it feels more of a battle than it should feel. But obviously, I've started, so I shall finish. So obviously I should finish this textile wall hanging. I've almost finished. I'm just doing the last I'm just doing the last decoration part of it now. Yeah, and then basically be sewing the backing onto it then. I do want to use this as the trim. Is the on the edge trim, this the binding, whatever you want to call it. This beautiful lace, I do want to use that. I may not have enough, I don't know, but I have got, because I also want to use that beautiful color as well. I love these laces. I got them at a charity shop actually, and say they were beautiful. But I have got other material if I quite haven't got enough of that beautiful lace. Because like I said, this is it's a big wall hanging. It's a big one. Hence why I'm struggling with space. I'm doing a lot of work on the floor, and I'll be honest, that is a bit uncomfortable, doing it on the floor. Yeah, and I think, and also, but the major thing I've learned is, especially when you are doing a big project, it's important that you take your time, that you do it in stages, and you have your breaks. Because the first few days, well, I think, well, no, not, I would say about into the 5th, 6th day, basically only a few days ago, I was getting really stressed with it, so stressed that I was in tears. But the reason being is that I just purely overworked myself. I just got so into it, and I just got, I literally just overworked my brain, and it couldn't cope with it. Basically, it just couldn't cope with it. It's paramount. I found out the hard way that it's paramount that you do take your breaks when you are working on a big, and I would say detail, especially on a challenging piece, because like I said, this is the first time I worked with wire work and thread, and yeah, it is time consuming. It is very time consuming, especially on a big scale like this. So yeah, that, yeah, and I say, God really taught me that. And and sometimes we do need to learn things the hard way, sadly. Sometimes we can be stubborn, we can be our own worst enemies. Because we can make ourselves panic with all these thoughts thinking, what about if I don't get this done in time, and I think basically the thought I was having in the back of my mind, what about if I don't get that, if I don't finish this, and the people at the Tudor house, they basically they ask, can you come over to display something? And of course in my mind I was panicking, well, what if I want to get it finished, before we even set up that, before we actually have that meeting. So that was basically why I was panicking, and I was just thinking work. But but in the long run, it actually does more harm than good. And it's also trusting in God, because if God wants that opportunity to happen, he will make it happen. It will happen, basically. So yeah, it's just, so yeah, and sort of, once I started to think about that and listen, and basically stop panicking, I've enjoyed the process again. Which is the most important thing. I think about any creative thing, is to enjoy it. And the thing, and when you do, when you get so, and so sort of anxious about it, and bogged down with it, you actually stop enjoying it then. And and well, it kind of, and then, and like I said, then you become tearful, or you just become so frustrated that you nearly end up throwing it against the wall or something. It's so yeah, it's more, more of an inspire me teaching, I think, than inspire me sort of craft wise. But now this is going back, I think, quite a few weeks ago, on Project Thursday, I did start the wheel within a wheel with Isaac. Now from my friend, I managed to get the third wheel. If I can sort of put it back as much as I can. So I basically painted the third wheel. It's almost a bit like a sort of jungle feel to that, with the green and the yellow and the orange. So as you can see, I've just tied it with string, because to be honest, that's the only way I can think of attaching it. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so if anyone's got a, good way of it, better way of attaching it, sort of let me know in the comments. But yeah, and what I want to do is wrap fairy lights around this part of it, and basically make it like a light. I mean, again, I'm not an engineer. Again, if you can think of a better way of making this as a light, then please put it in the comments. But so yeah, I mean, so that's another small thing I did, was attach the third wheel and painting it, basically. And yeah, and like I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, can find some fairy lights. But I've noticed they have gone up in price, the fairy lights, and I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to spend a lot on fairy lights, because it's an experiment. So I mean, the cheapest I've seen in the range is £7, but I don't really want to be spending £7. I only really want, to be honest, the most I want to spend is a £5. I mean, especially on fairy lights. I mean, as I said, just because this is a bit of an experiment, it's but yeah, I mean, aside from the fairy lights, that project is now finished as far as I'm concerned. Because that's just the last thing, is the fairy lights. And as I said, after I finish my wall hanging textile display, like I said, I will be slowing down and just concentrating my journals again. Because as I said, I mean, this one especially has taken quite a lot out of me. Pardon me, because there is so much to it. It has taken quite a lot out of me. But I know it. But I know it is worth it. Because I've learnt so much, and that's the thing. With everything, with you know, when you try new things, you learn new things. But you know, but I learned, you know, but I have learned you've also got to pace yourself out. And not rush, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's not worth it, because you know you don't end up enjoying what you're actually making. So yeah, so like I said, so yeah, it is more of inspiring me teaching really, but yeah, I hope you learned something, like I did from this video. I hope you can take that away with you, you know, whatever you're making or doing, you know, in your life, that yeah, you know, just remember to pace yourself, take those important breaks, and basically enjoy the process. Okay, guys, again, I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for new subscribers, because I got a few new subscribers. Yay! So yeah, I just want to say thank you, guys. Remember to like and subscribe. As I said, it does make a difference to us. Okay, and yeah, have a lovely Sunday, and God bless you all. Bye.